Rings. All right, so Saturday night, Sunday morning. Yeah, connected to Germany, Archon realm, or of course, Germany plays a big role in our current world because of World War II, and even politics wise, it's still pretty influential. It's quiet though compared to Israel and the U.S., but still an environment. There's still something going on there. Of course, after World War II, things are kind of like yeah, gotta be careful there. It's portals, things like that. Of course, it's still doing its work. Of course, the Nazi stuff is still in the U.S., Argentina, obviously in the U.S. It's pretty obvious in the U.S., especially when it comes to medical field. It's definitely in the U.S. And of course, our space thing has been shut down for the most part. Can't. Here's a kitty. It's like a feet bomber. Yeah, play innocent. uh, Interesting. Maybe Facebook's not working. Let me check something. Sometimes Facebook doesn't. It just stops. No, it looks like it's. Yep, it's still working. I guess it just hasn't kicked in yet. Doesn't matter. Okay. It is going, but I'm not getting unless they changed everything here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right. And also Switzerland, of course. They have like a statue of that's eating babies, and what was it, Frankenstein? Was created there, and I can't remember the whole. UN is there. But Germany still plays a role here. It's just quiet. Yeah, I feel like they don't want to get Brussels somewhat. Brussels is probably where all the meetings are and things like that. Of course, the UN is there also. But it feels like Germany still plays a role, just secretly. You're just not going to hear about it. Definitely do science. It's not being clear overall, but I'm feeling the vibrations there. So, other than that, let me check a couple of things, make sure this thing is working live. So usually I get like a timer or something here. All right, it tells me what's going on, but I'm not. It's not telling me anything. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll go into a little bit of an announcement here. It's not much of an announcement. It's just a website. It's Intermittent.com. Private sessions. Scheduler. Oops, I got the books. I also have the shops. Energies. Fritzy's here helping us out. Of course, Fritzy, she doesn't make many. It's true. This is usually Priscilla here, so of course Fritzy's a little bit more difficult to show on the camera. Trying to kill me, so she's mellowed out right now. So I guess we're taking turns, but the background's still there. All right, we're going to Germany's energy. What needs, of course, the mother of darkness in Germany. Obviously, there's a lot of other things there I'm not aware of. I don't need to know everything, but the German council of some kind, Archon energies. Basically, it's just part of. It's good there, of course, but of course, there's other things there that's happening. So, of course, Germany has so many different myths about it and everything. I don't know if you see somebody there. Tail. So, okay, all right, we're going to Archon, Archon, German energies, and then go into Switzerland. And they're both kind of quiet in the long run. Yeah. And here's Fritz. I don't know if I can show you. You can kind of see her. Sure what to do with her. I want to put her in the camera. She'll go crazy there. Not sure what's happening here. There she is again. Yeah, she's a lot bigger than Priscilla, so more picky too. Queen. Okay, all right, she's helping us out. So, okay, all right. We go. All right, blessings. Probably because I'm connected to the German energies. I feel like that's one of the reasons why she's here. So, okay, all right, blessings. Greetings. This is German consciousness, but also Archon frequencies. Well, it's basically about rewriting your Earth, rewriting history. Of course, there's the future timelines. Singapore is a place where you get some idea of the future. Germany has some features there, futuristic, not much, publicly at least. At least architecture-wise, technology-wise, things like that. But you have to kind of look for it in Germany. Singapore, you kind of see it in the living environment. It's not obviously not completely clear. It's not supposed to be. Cleanliness is a big part of it. But the German energies, well, Germany was chosen due to the connections to some of it's Anunnaki, but it goes a lot deeper than that. It's not just them. It's just that there are certain countries that are made to change the world, as you can see. And Germany is still very much involved. Rome had its day. A lot of Rome went into Germany, at least on a scientific level. So the Archon energies are basically, the Archon can heal itself. Yes, if it gets very physical and controlling, you feel like this is the physical. I mean, it's like an artist. It creates physical realms. And of course, you have to heal those realms. They can get out of hand. But humanity is right now experiencing everything they can in the physical, as you can see. Well, it's also they grab all the negativity they can to learn as quick as they can, realizing you're going to change over time. Doesn't mean everything's going to be all perfect and everything. Perfect environments don't normally work out, especially in the physical realms. But the Archon energy is not always going to explain itself. It plays different roles. It plays all roles. And sometimes it sees itself as many different things, many different faces, 3 or 4 faces of different environments, timelines it creates. It's just a different energy overall. So Germany is just basically where it's all downloaded into and changes the environment. It's basically Germany during World War II created obviously the environment that brings in your current world. But back then, it's just basically just very more open as war. War had to break down its old system. World War I crippled Germany, so it had no choice but to look elsewhere, to become more open-minded. And so, of course, it's brought in war, but also brought a lot of open-mindedness, of course, a lot of terror along with it, without going into all the details. Well, it's like the energy of the snake. The snake had to purge society or the world itself for these changes to occur. As difficult as it is, now you're in the healing process, which we're going over sometimes. It's never going to be easy. But the world needed to change. Of course, not everyone was going to agree upon how it was done, but it had to find some way occurring. Of course, nature also has a devil side of it. Well, you can say why World War II, World War I, even your current environment was all agreed upon, at least throughout the universe, actually. It just wasn't something that was done overnight. It was a lot of, not the easiest decisions to be made. And even the beings that are off-world were part of the World War II energies. Some of them are still going through the karma of it, and they were never incarnated here. Of course, some people don't like the karma word, especially when they're going through it. But karma does exist in other realities. Of course, like I said, you don't have to, you can call it something else. I guess some people just have heard it so many times, they're just tired of hearing that word. You'd be surprised how many alt planets played a role in your planets that are like World War II, for example. Even your current wars, current environments are going through karma. Also, like I said, never been here before, but part of it's council, you can say. There's like an Earth Council. Of course, you've heard karmic courts, things like that. Similar to that, but it's not going to show itself. Kind of like a galactic UN. It's not alien as you per se. It is more like in the spirit realm. It's more difficult to reach, and you can call them up, complain. Not that they might listen. They do listen. Doesn't mean they'll give it to your demands for a better life, winning the lottery, whatever it might be, better health. Yeah, they're not there for that. When you incarnate, you already made your decision. Once again, a lot of what's happening here, like the higher realms, have gone through a lot of difficulties themselves, not just you. And you become more aware of that. Basically, you'll get like a download of it. Like you might see another version of yourself going through chaotic energies about bringing in what modern world, modernizing the world to the best of your ability. And still, you feel there's some guilt. There's a lot of layers to it. It's not always going to make itself completely clear. It's just the way it is. Some might not want to listen to it, or it doesn't matter. So many are wanting med beds and cures and all. You're always going to hear that in a world like this. It's like this world is doing everything it can to make sure there's no med beds here. There's none of these alien technology. It's done everything it can to make sure that none of that's here. Not physically, not yet. Because you still have your environment to heal from. You still have to. Humanity's idea is for you to get like you're all on the same page, you could say. Of course, many do disagree with that. Well, to a certain level where disease no longer exists, but humanity has to allow that to occur. And there's right now it's too busy going through the disease and to cure it. They're not quite right. Of course, on an individual level, we can cure it. But yeah, this is an adventure Earth, you can say, adventure planets at a certain level. Maybe it is slow. Not all worlds can be fast because you're going deeper into your soul's energy, and just bringing new environments into in this world on so many different levels. So Germany is still working as secret, mostly through you, and it's trying to keep itself mild. It's still, as for the future itself, it'll find its way to come in. Germany would be involved. All countries would be involved with it. Germany would definitely be a quiet. You'll see it. Some of these companies eventually bring in new technologies that will not always be healthy. There will be some pioneering futures eventually. Like you see with the phone. The phone is kind of like your modern microwave. It's your, it might have all these fancy features, but there's not much you can do with it after a while. You might add like a new button to it or something. That's gonna be about it until your telepathic abilities are activated, which that alone can cause some difficulties. But those of you that are evolving are becoming more telepathic, especially in the partnership connections there. Greetings. We have the consciousness of Switzerland, which we are also connected to Germany, as you know, but Switzerland, yes, is a little bit more difficult to get to, live in. There is an elite energy. It's not the highest elite, but it's just basically, if you want to have a good living away from all the chaos of the world, you just have to pay for it. You'll find a way of doing it. Of course, you can find places where you can still afford it. It's somewhat, basically, if you don't want a chaotic life, there's places to find. It's Finland. There's plenty of other places to find, but others are chaos. The United States is going through this chaos for various. It's healing, yes, from World War II, World War I, Vietnam, the Roman Empire. Still, there's a lot of Roman energies still in the U.S. It's healing its ego, but someone has to do it. So it doesn't really have a culture because it has various different cultures connected to it. And it is kind of like a throwaway society to some level because, you're actually speeding up your experiences here. So you need to get fast food, fast everything, because you're gobbling up everything. That's not a weird word, but you're consuming a lot of knowledge, and you don't have time to eat anymore. Of course, then the body starts to decay because it's been poisoned by the food and all that. But that's also the environment. The environment is not exactly the healthiest either. So when like what 100 200 years in the future, when you look back at the US, you're saying, what were we thinking? It's like we just want to throw everybody away. The cars, the food, the people, everything. It was just all disposable society. Not all of it, but there's a lot of that there. Healthy living does not exist. It will be healthy eventually. But see, the thing is, it's like, so the food situation, it's like, you don't have wars to die quickly, so food is there to kill you instead. Or automobiles, or there's another way of dying young, because not everybody wants to stay here forever. Not until things get more improved, society starts to calm down, and you go to a more peaceful environment, which obviously it's not ready for that. Once it hits that level, though, who needs it? It's like time to go somewhere else. Doesn't mean you'll go to a world where you feel more fit. This one, you're not here to fit in. You're just here to kind of make it work the best of your ability. And that's the art of it. It's nobody is supposed to feel like they get along with anyone, or nobody understands nobody. That's the point. It's kind of that's how you speed things up. You make things more interesting. This way, not everybody's the same way. You have larger people, smaller people, and so on. And once again, food is there to kill, mostly. There's people that are to kill. It's like food is the killer, actually, due to cancers and things like that, and the chemicals and everything. So war has not. It just moved. It's just changed. It's still a war. It's just not with. It's just with food, and it's mostly food, and automobiles. Once again, especially those that can't drive. It doesn't matter if you drive well or not. It's an exit point. So this is kind of like the worst war environment you can be in, because it's slow. I mean, it's one of the worst. It's not the worst, but it is still not as exciting as it could be. World War II had always, that wasn't that great either. But this current war, at least in the U.S., other places in the world, but U.S., it's kind of like a slow, just a war with no end. Not yet, at least. Now you can talk about the elites control. Well, society also. Society is not really waking up to all the corruption. So corruption continues. Once society realizes corruption is there, you can maybe have a better environment, maybe. But until then, the darkness here is just going to have a blast. Now, the dark elites in the U.S. don't really like themselves. But they do like to taunt society and cause it difficulties, and they're like clowns, like demonic clowns. Some of them are. Some of them look like clowns, without naming names. Well, not all of the politicians are like that, but some of your wealthy are like that, and so on. It's just because they just like to taunt society until society wakes up, figures out, oh, this is all just a game. Oh, we don't have to be angry about everything anymore. We could just solve all this by just, shutting up and just shifting our energy, bringing a better environment. And then once you're done with that, you just leave the planet because it's done. But right now, it's just basically the higher elites here in the U.S. We keep pointing there because they're not from Germany. I mean, some of them are, but they're from all kinds of places. They're just here. They're just having a blast with society. They put some kind of headline in the news and get everybody all excited and all that. They just love it just to taunt. It's like taking a stick and poking everyone, and society falls for it. When society stops falling for it, it's game over. It's boring, and like I said, who wants to be here now? It's just not what it used to be. So it's soul growth, kind of. It's just basically a lot of people are just torturing themselves, panicking, worrying about the future constantly. And that's the whole elite system, is to create all these like false World War III environments, all these false doomsday environments in society. Once again, not everybody, but quite a few are falling for it. So it's like you see how tricksters operate. And once again, society, once it's right, when it gets off that horse of panic, crying, all this anxiety of worrying about the world, and just focus on yourself, just change your environment, change your thinking. Because right now, many have their thinking of just chaos. And it's fun there for a while until your health starts to be affected. And then they might change sometimes. It's like living inside of a video game of just political warfare, crying about the elites' wealth. I mean, yes, not all of them are bad, obviously, but it's just it's just a game on society until society just snaps out of it. It's not going to snap out anytime soon. It doesn't want to. So you have your video game that you plug into the wall, and you have your life version of it, where it's actually worse to live in, but necessary for those that need it. Obviously, not everyone there is pulling. Many of you that are spiritually developed, of course, others that are spiritually developed are so far into delusion that they can't get out of it. At least they're not causing difficulties for them. Others, sometimes they're going in a circle. But then again, once again, your modern environment, the news, and all of that, like I said, they're just poking at society. Continue to just, look, this has happened, that corruption, and just having a blast. So we'll just leave you with that.